Good day guys, welcome back to another episode of U-BOAT on U-96, episode 5, it's the 4th of May 1941. So as you can see there, we've got the snorkel now, so everything should be improving quite a bit by now. It means we can stay out and we don't have to worry about trying to flee too much if we do get caught. It means we don't have to surface up the boat and run away to replenish the oxygen and the electric engines. So that's really good. So that means that we can actually stay out, stay close to our convoys and try and sink them as much as possible, which should result in us getting a lot more tonnage. So that's what we're up to today. We're going out and we're going to try and make the most of having the snorkel, and we're going to sink as much as possible. So everything's going pretty well so far, so we just want to try and continue with what we've been doing really. So enjoy the episode. So here we are, we've just left our port and we are heading out towards our patrol area, and we've got a friendly U-boat here. As long as you are going away from me, I'm happy with that. Don't want you interfering with anything that I want to be getting up to today, especially if we find a nice big convoy. So we are going to keep on the move. Now here we go, got a propeller noise here. So we will move in. It's only one boat, we'll take a look and see what the situation is. Okay, where are you? You should be somewhere very close. Looks like it's a bit horrible on the weather front here. There we go, we've got our contact, so we'll just move forward. We'll be up on the deck gun and we'll just open up straight away. I don't think it's armed. Yeah, it's not, it's just an Empire or something, so we should be fine to just gun this thing down. Let's just stop here. And we'll just pick this thing down and that'll be a good start for the day, I think. Well, there we go, one Empire going down. Took a fair few shots, but that doesn't really matter. We've got heaps of deck gun ammo on board, and we have got plenty of torpedoes as well, so we are good to go. Now we are going to keep moving forward. We'll get out of this horrible weather. We want to get on the search and get that hydrophone going so we can see if we can find ourselves a nice convoy or something. Hopefully we can. Something nice and big today would be good. And we may as well shoot that message off and see if we can pick up a captain or whatever. There we go, an officer and a captain. So we'll take those guys with us. We won't take everybody. We want to try and just fill up on captains and officers if we can, because we get a little bit more points for those rather than just carrying sailors. But we'll carry on and get to the patrol sector and see if we can find something on the way. Okay, we've got ourselves a route plotted out, and there we go, perfect. Got ourselves a small convoy, 8 to 13 ships, pretty happy with that. That's not the biggest convoy we can find, but they're heading away from us. We better get a wiggle on, and we'll go and try and catch up to them. Looks like the weather's playing a bit of a part here for us, unfortunately, but we will try our best and get in front of those. And we will start picking off the biggest targets, and then we'll see how we go from there. Okay, we have visual contact. Well, from the hydrophone anyway. So here we go, we got ourselves a American C3. Is there any point checking the name? No, there's not, of course. But that's alright, let's have a look. What else have we got? Okay, well, we can take that down with a deck gun. So that's fine. No, we don't want to be plotting an interception course, thank you. Straightforward. Might have to let them close the distance a little bit, but while we do that, work out what heading they are on. And they are doing one of our least favourites. They're heading southwest. So we need to pull a line through this ship here. Come on, what's going on? There we go, pull a line through that. Nice and straight. And then we'll go from north to south with the protractor till we meet our line. And then go to the left there. 104. So take that away from 360, that leaves us with 256. So nice and easy. That's a nice easy one to work out, didn't have to use my brain that hard there. So let's jump up into the scope and take a look. We want to target for the C3. We'll start with that, and then we'll just shadow the convoy, and we'll see what else we can pick off. Pretty much just want to use the torpedoes on the big stuff, and then we'll use the deck gun for anything that doesn't have any guns on board. So we didn't see any escorts actually in this convoy. Dive planes are all good. Don't want to be bouncing around too much in the water here. Looks fairly calm though, doesn't it? So it should be alright. Where are we? There we go, we've got some smoke there. This C3 should be somewhere right in front of us. There it is. A little bit far away though. Some other big ships in the background too. There's actually quite a few. But at least 3 ships here that we can be torpedoing. So I think we should let them move forward. We're obviously a little bit far away at the moment. Here we go, we're coming into contact with everything. What have we got here? Got another C3. Yeah, we should take that one down first, maybe. Or this one. There's a lot of C3s in here. That'll be the go though. Take those down first, and then we'll just pick everything else off. Hopefully we should be able to wipe out this whole convoy if they're all flying American and British flags. Definitely want to start with one of these C3s though. So let's recognize that. C3 course 256. Distance hopefully under 5,000. A little bit far away at the moment. So I think maybe we should start moving forward. Yeah, we'll start moving forward. And by the time we've done the rest of the solution, hopefully that's dropped down to 5,000. So we'll start the clock now and see where we're at. Yeah, and we'll stop the clock. So 8 knots. Well, that sort of seems a bit quick. Might double check that. Okay, we'll stop the clock right there. 8 knots again. Okay, well, it must be 8 knots. Just seems a little bit fast. Most convoys travel at around 6 or 7. I don't think we've spooked them, but we'll move in a little bit closer. And I will double check that just once more before we launch any attack, because I don't want to miss. And these C3s are hard enough to go down as they are. So we'll make sure that we get the job done properly here. They could be moving at 8 knots. There is no escort with them. I'm just not fully convinced right now that that's what they're doing. So better to be safe. So we'll have another look. Just double check our C3, and if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But Like I say, can never be too sure. Always best to double check at least. It just seems 8 knots is a little bit much. Okay, got a C3 there. Is that the one we were targeting before? Oh, we'll just fill it all in. 256. Distance looks pretty far away though. I mean, we are fully maxed in on the zoom here. Yeah, 7,000. That's a bit much, isn't it? But we'll use you to double check that you're doing 8 knots, and if you are, then we'll find one a bit closer. Okay, we'll stop the clock there. Okay, so they are doing 8 knots. So we'll get 2 torpedoes flooded. Should be enough to do the job. We're obviously going to have to double check the distance again, just to be sure. Can't be launching at 7,000 kilometers, 7 kilometers. Yeah, even that's a bit too much. Which one are we actually looking at? No, we're looking at one that's way too far away. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. This one should be well within the range. And we'll just quickly fill it all in. We know what it is. So 256, 8 knots, and a quick distance. As long as it's within the 5, should be fine, good to go. And it is. And we've got everything flooded, so fire away. And hopefully she's going to go straight down. Well, there we go, 2 good hits there on the C3, so hopefully that's going to be enough to do the work for us. She doesn't look like she's in too bad a condition, and we did just hit her right on the nose as well. So we got quite lucky there. See, you've got to check those speeds all the time. So yeah, she's only like 30% damaged really. That's not looking too good for us at the moment. Would be a shame if we have to send another torpedo, because there's a couple of large ships in here that we're going to need to use all of our torpedoes for. So we'll just have to keep an eye on her. Masts are falling in the water, that's normally a good sign. Something I've picked up over the years I've been playing this game is that if the masts are going down, then normally means the ship is too. So there is a small blaze on the front there, but it's not really critical, is it? So let's just take a look at you. Is your engine running? Barely. Not really going to get far like that, are you? Well, we'll keep an eye on you. And if she might not go down, but she might sit dead in the water, which would be good for us, so we can just mark her out on the map while we pick off these other ships, and then we'll sink this on the way back. But that damage bar isn't going down at all really, is it? Flooding's just caught up to the damage, but it's not looking critical. But we'll keep moving anyway, because the rest of the convoy is going to be a bit freaked out from what's just happened, so we will stay with the convoy. And that's the great thing about us having the... Oh, there we go, the damage is done. That's the good thing about us having the snorkel, is that we don't have to flee and come back to find them. So yeah, the damage is all gone. Now it's just a case of the flooding. So we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, if she sits here dead in the water, it's fine. We'll mark it up. Come back and finish her off with the deck gun. And we'll keep pursuing. And see what we can find. See what the next target will be. Probably another one of the C3s. Seem to be 2 or 3 of them in this convoy. So we should definitely try and take those down straight away. And that'll be a very good start for the day. What's 3 C3s is probably 21,000 roughly in tonnage. So that's far more than what we actually need to achieve for the mission. But the missions are always very low really, aren't they? They're only 4, 7 or 10,000. So we'll pick these off, get that done. I'll just sit here and watch this for a bit, and if she sits still then that's fine, but we'll just get into a position where we can re-engage with the convoy again. Alright, we are back with them. It's a little bit darker now. It's a bit of time's passed, but it was quite late when we did that last attack, so we'll be attacking the rest of these guys throughout the night, maybe even into the morning, which is fine by me. So they're still doing the same course, and as long as the distance is all good, and I think they've had more than enough time to get back to doing 8 knots if that's what they're doing, but best to double check again like we always do. And we'll stop the clock right there. 8 knots it is. That's all good with me. 2 torpedoes again. Should be enough to at least leave it dead in the water. Hopefully we'll get lucky one day and 2 will be enough to sink a C3. But I don't really like to waste 3, so fire it away. Another successful strike, that's what we like to see. And the mast at the front falls down. That means she is in trouble. So let's have a look. Yeah, that damage bar is far worse than the previous one. A little bit of a fire on board. Nothing major though. Serious damage. Excuse me. So yeah, it's just a case of repeating what we did before. We have to wait a little while, see how bad that damage will get. And would have been nice, there we go, it would have been nice if she just went down, but the damage is there. The engines have stopped by the looks of things, which is good, and yep, she's fully dead in the water at least. I don't know if she's going to actually sink, they rarely do. These C3s are very tough, aren't they, compared to the Liberties and the Empires and tankers as well even. They are very stubborn, but we are more than happy to come back and finish that off with the deck gun, and we can just keep cruising along this line with our snorkel up. Now we can just pick off all the big ships like this, and we'll come back through with our deck gun at the end of it, clean them all up, so they won't register as sunk tonnage until we actually put them under. But if we know that we've got sort of, oh, there we go, there's a nice big ship that we can attack. But that's a deck gun job really. If she is unarmed, I don't think these things have any deck guns on board. Doesn't look like it. But we could send a torpedo, because that is a tanker, and that'll blow up. What else have we got here? This other C3, that's probably going to be one of our next targets, I would say. We get those dealt with, and then we can start using our deck gun to finish up the rest of it. So C3 is not really going anywhere, is it? It's not really sinking just yet, so we'll leave a mark or 2. Alright, we're back with them, and the weather has slightly changed. It's a little bit foggy out now, so I can't really make out any ships just yet, but we know what we're looking at. So we're going to have to kind of base everything off what we know already. And the only thing we're going to struggle with will be the distance check. So I'm not sure how accurate we're going to get with that, but we know that they're doing 8 knots, or they were, so we're just going to go with that. They've had enough time to calm down since that last attack, so we'll leave it at 8. Hope they haven't changed to 7. But distance wise, I think we're just going to have to wait. If they can get as close as possible, then we might be able to make out the silhouette of them through the scope here. But yeah, it's not looking too good actually. This fog is pretty thick. Might have to do it off the map, which I'm a little bit wary of because that's not the most accurate way of doing it, but I don't know how much we can afford to let them get too close, otherwise they'll spot us. So I mean, we can just go with that, round it down a little bit, just sort of hope for the best, I suppose. Flood two tubes, and if it's not going to be a hit, then we're going to have to get much closer, but we can't really be within anything less than a kilometre. Okay, looks like we only got the one hit there. No one hitter quitter, unfortunately. I'm not convinced that the damage is going to get much worse than that either. And if it is, then it's kind of hard to gauge how you go about attacking a C3. Sometimes you need to do 3 torpedoes to make sure it's done. I normally go with 2 and then use a deck gun ammo to try and sink it from there. Just because I don't want to waste all the torpedoes, but we'll keep moving. Oh mate, she is going to sit there. She's going to sit there dead in the water. Well, I'm happy with that. How's that flooding going to go? Again, we'll just put more marks down, and that's 3 C3s that we need to finish up. It's kind of hard to put these marks down if they keep drifting like that. We'll just go roughly there. Don't need to be that accurate because we'll find them on the way back with the hydrophone. But yeah, it hasn't registered that we've sunk any of those 3 C3s just yet, which is fine. We'll get all that a little bit later, but we'll keep moving with them. And now we're going to pick off some of the larger stuff again. I think there's 1 or 2 large ships here that we want to be attacking, and then we can start deck gunning down some more of these other ones. And the attack continues. So I think this ship here, I've had a look on the map, and it is a Liberty cargo. So let's recognize that as a Liberty. Speed, we're going to go 8. And the distance, again, still struggling with the distance. We haven't really given them much time to calm down since the previous attack, but I think we're close enough that it shouldn't really matter that much. We are very close to it, just under a kilometer, so let's just get it flooded and get them launched, and we'll be doing well if we can miss. We can just about make out the silhouette, but not very well. There we go, another 2 good hits there. That Liberty looks like she is in a world of hurt. Massive raging fire at the back there. So that's good, but the damage does not look that bad. But I am convinced that that fire is definitely going to do quite a little bit more for us. Yeah, and it is going down a little bit more, but I don't think she's going to survive too much longer. Hopefully she doesn't sit dead in the water. It would be nice to actually get something underneath the waves. The damage is going down. The flooding's not really going down that much. So yeah, it would be good if she goes down, because that would probably finish up our objective at least. And that's one thing ticked off. And we can shadow the rest of these guys and start deck gunning, hopefully. Might use some torpedoes on that big tanker though, just to get a bit of fireworks happening. And then we can deck gun down the rest of those Empires. Do need to check their flags though, just to be sure. I'm pretty sure that this is a fully English and American convoy, but don't want to start shooting down any Spanish or Argentinians or whatever. So yeah, this ship does look like she is in a world of hurt though. She is going to go down, I think. It's rare to see a Liberty survive a 2 torpedo attack. It does happen, but it's rare. Yeah, now she's done for. And there you go, objective complete. It wasn't really the largest amount that we needed to sink in the first place, but it is good to get it ticked off the list. So the Liberty goes down, and we will continue on, and we'll probably just check to see if there's any more armed ships, and if there's not, probably going to take a hit on the tanker with a torpedo or 2. Alright, we're back with them, and they've been kind of bobbing around a little bit, changing course, but it seems like they're kind of back on track. And this is the last armed ship that we need to be concerned about, so we'll make sure we get this thing put under, and then we'll go and start deck gunning down the rest of them, I think. So it's 1 more Liberty. There we go. We got lucky with the lucky that the game will recognize that it's there in the distance. I can't see it through this fog. It's not very far away, but this fog is so thick, can hardly make it out at all. I don't think we're going to get an accurate reading if we try and use the tool. Now, we kind of got a reading, but I'm not sure how accurate, so I might double check that. Just use the compass just to have a look. It's not too much of a difference in it, but I think I'd rather go with the map reading there. And I think, yeah, just plug in 8 knots, should be all good to go. And we'll flood tube 2 and 3. And that should hopefully do the work. And that's going to be quite a bit of tonnage already put down, I think. Pretty good going. Well, we've had a very good success rate with the torpedoes today, so pretty happy with that. I think only one of them was missed, possibly a dud on one of the C3s, but it didn't matter in the end. It still put it to a stop. But that's a bit more like it with this Liberty. Damage is 90% already, and flooding is happening quite fast as well, so we're looking pretty good here. I'd say she's going to go down quite rapidly, which is fantastic news. And it is. Yep, damage is done, flooding is happening, so she's going to go down. That's all the armed forces out the way. It's a pretty big convoy actually. No escorts, but they did have 3 C3s and 2 Liberties, so there's plenty there for us to take down, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. Still got a nice big tanker there as well somewhere, and a couple of small Empires, so we are looking pretty decent for this one. If we can get rid of all of these ships, we should be looking at around 50,000+ tons for the day, plus anything else we can find while we still have to do our patrol sector yet as well, so not too bad. Well, we're hot on the tail of this tanker here, so we'll get our captain up onto the deck gun, and hopefully it's not going to blow up in our face, but we are going to have to ride alongside it to do this deck gunning. So we should be all good. There's no point trying to use torpedoes on it because it's unarmed, and I want to save them just in case we bump into anything else while we're on patrol. So let's get on the deck gun, and we'll just work this thing down, and we'll continue on. There's plenty more here to do still.
Achtung!
Well, there we go. That should be more than enough to do the job there. Unfortunately, we didn't get any big explosions. But that's not really the main priority when we're sinking a ship, is it? So we'll take that as a win, put her down, and register that as some sunk tonnage. And I think we're in a good position where we can probably try and pick up some passengers here as well. Might just send one more to see if she'll catch on fire. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Right as she's going under the waves. Better late than never, eh? Oh well. That's the tanker dealt with. So it's just a couple of smaller ships around. Just see if we can find a captain and an officer. There we go. Perfect. And we'll also have a look for captains and officers of those C3s that we are yet to put under as well. But we will continue on. I have to use the hydrophone to actually find these empires because of all this thick fog. There we go. Start moving out and stalking these guys.
Achtung!
Right, there we go. Another empire. What's going on here? I can see you. There must be that fog. It's very thick out here, but we'll have a look. Is there any passengers that we might be able to take with us? Yes.
Karten setzen.
And another Empire goes down. Pretty good stuff. Pretty happy with the way it's going, actually. That is why I love having a snorkel, because you can just stay right in amongst this whole convoy and you can just pick everything apart. Especially once you've got rid of all the escorts and stuff. We've got lucky that there was no destroyers and all that around with us today. So we just took down the big stuff and now we're free to just deck gun everything else. But now we still need to try and find one of these other ships. We'll have to use the hydrophone again because I've no idea where they are. This fog is far too thick. Okay, that's the last Empire. We're out of deck gun ammo. We have some in the storage, but we have to get that transported up to the surface. But she's pretty much done for. We might as well use the old flat gun just to see if we can finish her off and seal the deal here. I think we should be able to do that. Where are you? See, it's quite foggy. Oh, there you are. Oh shit, right in front of us. Stop the boat. Maybe go into reverse. And we'll just see if we can put her down using the old anti-aircraft gun here.
Hüllenbruch, Sie sinken.
Well, there we go. Wasn't too bad, was it? Got that dealt with. And passenger-wise, oh, we're already full. Well, that's good news. At least we're all full of only captains and officers. So I guess we're back on to going to deal with the rest of these C3s and whatnot. Go clean up. And we're going to need to transport some of our ammunition up to the deck gun to finish those off, so we may as well get that done on the way. Looks like our research is finished, so we'll accept that. Don't think we have enough skill points to be researching anything else, so that's fine. Maybe after this patrol we can. And we'll transport some ammo back up to the deck gun, and if we find anything else on the way, then obviously that'll be going down with it. But clean up these C3s and we'll get back on and actually go and do our patrol. And there we have it. Everything is all sunk, all cleaned up. So we'll get these messages all fired away. And there's a couple of points on the map here still, so I will just have to check up on those. Can't seem to erase them, but just want to make sure that we haven't missed any ships that we've maybe left here dead in the water. So we'll carry on with that. We are full passengers, and we just got a little bit of kilometers to clock up as well in the patrol zone. Doesn't look like there's anything here, it's just a point that I can't get rid of. So we'll do our kilometers, and hopefully we'll bump into something else while we're doing those. I don't know why I can't delete these. Anyway, yeah, hopefully we'll find maybe another convoy or some more lone ships would be good. But we'll see what we find on the way. Okay, we're not quite up to the next medal yet. Probably after the next patrol we would be, but there's a little list of everything that we've sunk. Everything's pretty much in the same area. It was only really that one big group that we found, apart from that lone empire. There wasn't much else. We got 43,000 tons. Pretty happy with that. And it was all freight, so not too bad at all. Completed all the objectives. Everything that we had, so all in all, not a bad outing. Okay, that'll do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well. Leave a comment down below, let us know that you're still enjoying it. Now that we've got the snorkel, we should be pretty much out here ripping it up from here on out. That's what we want to be trying to achieve, getting those big tallies and maybe some aircraft carriers and big tankers and all that good stuff as well. So that's what we got to look forward to. So keep enjoying it, keep liking, and I'll catch you up in the next one.